Do you enjoy looking at photos not on a computer screen? Maybe you've always wanted to create a photo book, but you really don't know where to get started. Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple ways to create a photo book with your pictures in Forever. As you know, Forever is our favorite platform to work with, and most people don't realize that you can create a photo book without being a designer, and maybe with not even enjoying the process, just getting it done. So let me know if you've created any photo books before, and then watch this video to see if these are the styles that might work best for you. Hope this will help you on the process. I'm Ann Matuzak, co-founder of Pixology, and I love working with Forever, our place to organize, store, and share and celebrate your photos. One of the things you can do when your photos are in Forever is create projects. And my favorite project is, of course, a photo book. And that's what we're going to do right now. Now, maybe you don't have a Forever account yet. And if that's the case, we'll have a link posted for you to sign up and get an account. And the starters are free. So you can try it out and see if this works for you as a solution. We have an account, and we're going to work from there to start creating books from the simplest to the most involved. So the simplest book is literally done for you, and this is what it looks like. We go to our Forever account, and I have in this account over 6,800 files. That is way too much to put in a book. So we're going to be working off of one specific collection of photos or album. But that one has 142 photos in it, and that's more than I want to work with also. You may want that many, but today we're going to keep it simple. So I am going to go to the very top to print projects, and that's what we're going to create. And we click on that. We're going to create a new print project, and I don't even have to click that because we know the first thing we're going to make is an auto book. And the description of an auto book is a flawless photo book created instantly for you. We're going to click on that, and it's going to say, where do you want to get your pictures from? These are all the different things, and you see all these not allowed files. Those are video files, obviously not going into a printed book. So rather than look at all these files, which is pretty confusing, I'm going way over to the side here and clicking on this to choose the right files. Now I could choose a particular album like I showed you before, but in that album I already picked my favorites. So all I have to do is click the favorites button, and there we go. It is selected, the little hearts, the favorites for all of those pictures. These are the ones that I want to use. Now, this is where the magic happens. We go to Add Selected. We click on that button. Oh, maybe I should select them first. And we go to the end, hit Shift and click on that one. Add Selected. We're going to make a 12 by 12 hardcover book because that's my favorite coffee table size book. That's going to be a big book like this one back here. So this is really coffee table size. We have books that are also 10 by 10. It's a little bit better lap size, but I'm in a go big mood today. And what's great is you can even create smaller sizes, like an 8 by 8, almost a purse size for some people, and it can be a soft cover too. But we're going to stick with hardcover 12 by 12, and I'm going to hit Create My Book. See how long this takes. Setting up, determining, done. How amazing is that? So we're going to start right here. We're going to hide the tips for a moment because it tells you more things you can do. What a perfect cover. It's the not the very first one in the collection, but the perfect picture for the cover. So I can actually enter text. Oops. In fact, I want to add the word surprise. Save. And what's nice is you can continue to add text wherever you want, but if you don't want text, none of those boxes will show. And now we can just scroll through the pages, and if something in one of these pages isn't the way I would like it combined, like right here, I have a picture that's sideways. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I can rotate it, and now it's the right direction. But maybe I want that on its very own page. So the other thing I can do is change the design, and I could separate them like this, or I can edit the entire page and start separating the pages. So I can add photos to a page, any of the ones that I want, or, let's close that back out, or I can combine different pages. So I can click on the edit layout, and I can click on this page, and I can choose to merge it with another page or separate it into two separate pages. Now I can take this one, save the separated pages, and now I can go back to this picture and rotate it, and now it's its own page. Just pretty neat, but it doesn't quite capture it exactly the way I want. You can see it's in kind of a rectangle. So I'm going to change the design, and there we go. I've got the whole picture on there. And I can continue this through the book. If there's other pictures that I'd like to separate out, like this one right here, I might want to go back and separate these pages as well. I can delete a page, which I'm not going to do. I can go through, and maybe as I look through, I'm really happy with the whole design. But I think, boy, that white background is a little bit boring. I can go back up to the top, and I can edit my pages. And so right here, I change the background, and I can change it. Let's see, do I like it in black? Stands out, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we like it in a different color. Oh, parchment's a little flat. I don't like the gray. How about cotton? It gives it a little bit of texture. That's actually not too bad. And then if I like that texture, I can apply it to all the pages. So everything matches, done. And one more thing I can do is I can add surprise 80th party in the year right to my spine. Just like that, the book is done. It's done. Hit add to cart, you order, you're finished. So that is the done for you. You choose the pictures, you choose the words, and everything else is organized and put together for you. Obviously, there's a little bit more training I could do on it, but for today, it's about simple and finished. That's an auto book. All right, let's go to the next one, kind of in between an auto book and doing it all yourself. And this one, we're going to find, again, up at the top of the page, but we're gonna go up one more level, and we're gonna go to design and print. In design and print, we can do a lot of the same sort of things, but it's gonna give you more options. So we're gonna go to photo books, and we're gonna design and print a photo book. Now, one of the great things about that is I can, again, choose different styles and different sizes. But I can also choose a lot of different designs or layouts to the books. So I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the different layouts. Once again, I'm going to make it a 12 by 12 book. And in this case, I have pre-shopped a little bit because there's 5 pages of 12 by 12 designs already chosen for you. And I'm going to go to page 3 and show you, I think, maybe it's page 4. Every time I think I have the right one picked, they add some more to it. I'm going to choose one that seems really different, but it's called Family Floral. And the reason I'm choosing this one is because it's an 80th birthday. It's kind of a heritage-y feel, and flowers were really beautiful at this party. So I'm choosing this one. Again, I'm going to make it a 12 by 12 hardcover, and I'm going to start the book. So it's created my project. Here's my cover. I get to add my title again and add it over here. In fact, I'm going to add the exact same title. Oops, forgot that surprise word again. We're going to save that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the spine. And I'm going to add the year on the spine. And we're going to save that. Now, obviously, I need to add some pictures to here. So we're going to click here. We're going to add a picture. Here we are back in that screen we saw before. We're going to go once again to all files. We're going to choose our pictures from our favorites. We're going to start with this one. We're going to take it and we're just going to slide it down, not worry about the cake as much, and just get her face in there. So page 1, page 2, I'm going to go ahead and choose this picture because it has the whole family in there. Sometimes you may get a note that the picture may have a little bit of blur or not quite as sharp as you might want. Many times it's still going to print well, and what matters more is this is an important picture. So as I am not a professional photographer, I'm not looking for necessarily the perfectly composed shot. I'm looking for the picture that tells the story of my family. Now I'm noticing that someone is cut off in this picture, so I'm going to change the design and see if I can get everyone in there. So let's try this design instead. Now I'm still missing somebody. How is that happening? How about this one? Ha ha! And it was my father. That would have been bad. So now I can look at this picture and say, I can actually make it just a little bit bigger, move it over, and now we've got everybody. I could add a text or title that says family, or choose not to. So you can see where here I get to go through and choose my pictures one by one and add them to the book. And that's a great thing, but it's certainly going to take a little bit more time. Let's take Brian's head back in there. So this is how I would go through and build a book like this. And when you're finished, you end up with the same thing. You can go through here and you get down to page 21, which is the final page, and maybe that's not enough. And so very easily you can add another page. And you can rearrange them, you can change your mind about pictures and swap them back and forth. Again, there's a lot that you can do that makes it as quick or as personalized as you want to. So design and print allows you a little bit more freedom than an Autobook does, but it's probably going to take you a little bit more time. And in design and print, you have what's in that collection. There are not options to move outside of the collection or change backgrounds or things like that. So it's still very much a structured process that allows you to finish books in kind of a big hurry. And I've done a few of these. We've taught these to a lot of our clients. And we find that our clients that are looking for that little bit more creativity really love design and print, and our Mac clients love it because the next step I'm going to show you is a computer-based program, and it is PC-based. So this is a wonderful option, as well as Autobooks, for anyone using any computer system. So we've been looking at our pictures here in our Forever account. Our Forever account is stored online, and it is accessible from any computer anywhere. And what's really nice about that is I can start working on one of these design and print books at my office, if you're allowed to do that, and then go home and work on it on my home computer, and the same information will be available. If I want to work on my book in Artisan, which is our next step, you're going to keep working on the same computer. So let's go to Artisan, which is our third way to create a photo book. And even in Artisan, there's a faster way and a completely unlimited creative way. So because I don't want this to be a 3-hour video, I'm going to show you a way to start with a little bit of a head start. So let's go to Artisan. You're going to find that with an icon that looks like a little book and a paintbrush. And we're going to open that up.
Let's maximize it.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
And so we're going into Artisan, which is a purchased program. And this is something you purchase through Forever. And it is an amazingly robust program. In fact, there's so much that you can do with it that Forever has provided a set of trainers called the Pixies, and they operate pixels to pages, and it is a training system just for using Artisan. Think of it as Photoshop for photo books. And if you really like to create and design, I cannot recommend using pixels to pages as one of your trainers. It is a wonderful way to grow. So you have purchased Artisan, you've installed it on your computer, you have probably purchased some content because that's how we build. And now we're going to create a project. So we create a new project, and we're not going to do one page, we're going to create a whole thing. Again, all of our choices are here, and we're going to create a 12 by 12 hardbound book. And now this is just a small portion of the content that's available for creating a book. You can start with a completely blank slate. For those of you that want to create straight out of your mind and be directed just by what your photo looks like, start blank. For those of you that might want a very simple, straightforward background, you can go to plain old white. And then from there, it just gets more and more interesting. And we're going to create one today that doesn't necessarily seem like it matches any of the other stuff we've already done. I'm going to use a pre-designed or a custom template called Gazebo, which tells you nothing. Gazebo is actually a set of pre-designed pages, and I actually created the PDF so you can see what we're working with. Now, why did I choose Gazebo? I love the layouts that are pre-done here. They're very, what I would call photocentric, so a lot of large pictures, not as much embellishment, but again, this becomes very much a personal choice. Also, the theme of this party was a lot of blue, and you'll see there's a lot of blue accents on almost all the pages. So I chose Gazebo, and that's what we're going to use to create our book. So we click on Gazebo, we go to Next, and here's where I could add photos. If I click on Add Photos, it's going to ask where I want them from. I'm going to go to Forever. Here I have to sign back into my account. Because you may have more than one Forever account on one computer, especially in families. We see different family members having access to their photos all in one place. and you have to remember your password. Okay, so we can go here again and we can look at our albums, or we can look at our tags. And it's going to open up this album. This is all going to depend on how fast your computer is. Now, for some people, they actually have their photos living directly on their computer as well as in Forever. Living on your computer, they may be there in your native program. So it may just be in your computer files under pictures, or you may be using something like Historian, which is the Forever-based program that lives on your computer. All right, so now it's going to download the pictures, and in this case I did not select just the favorited ones, because this is an album where I get to do a lot more creating, and I might layer more pictures on a page. I might include more details in them. This is not an album that I'm typically going to create and finish in an hour. An Autobook I can finish sometimes in as little as 15 minutes. A design and print can be anywhere from 1 hour to maybe 4 if I'm getting really tweaky and playing with it a lot. Unfortunately, when I am doing custom design work, we usually start at the 4-hour mark and we work up from there. So there's a lot more involved here, and we have a lot more options. So you can see my photos populating into the program, and you do have the option right up here to automatically arrange the photos in the pages in the new project. That never works well for me. If I'm going to create something in Artisan, I seem to want to have more creative options than that, and I never seem to like the way the program does it for me. So I tend to skip that and just move forward. And we're going to name this, guess what? Surprise. '80th party. And we're going to create it. So now the program itself will create a cover. I can change anything I want on the cover. It will create a set of 21 base pages, which I can change any way that I want. I can change the order of the pages, the layout, the color, the design, the embellishments, anything. So there's no limit really to what you can do with it here in Artisan. Or if there is, I haven't run into it yet. So it is creating my pages. Now over here on the right hand side, you'll see one of my toolbars, and this toolbar shows the pages that I'm looking at. The second part of it shows the photos that I have to work with. And the third part of it shows some of the content that's on this computer that I have as an option for playing with and changing things around. So I'm going to go back to pages. I almost never do my cover first, except in this case I know what I want on the cover, so I could. Usually you're going to start with your first page. I'm going to take you all the way over to this side. On my left side is my Elements toolbar, and this shows me all the pieces that are being used to build this page. It shows several different pieces of paper, and the large gray box is a photo drop box. Across the top is a series of ribbons, and it's set up very similarly to any Microsoft product you might use, Microsoft Word or Excel or things like that, where you have the ribbons that allow you to insert and arrange and format and color, and each one of these of course has more tools that is included. So you're going to leave it on the home. We're going to look at that first page, and if we remember from our photos, we're going to choose that family photo again to go on the very first page. I happen to know it was somewhere down here. See, it's a lot more challenging now when you're looking through the whole list. And here's that picture. So I'm going to click on it and drag it over and drop it into here. Now, what I want this to show me is all the photos not used, because I don't want to accidentally duplicate a picture. When I get to this picture, one of the things that I really dislike is that exit is at the top of the page. So I'm going to enlarge it until exit is gone. I'm going to shift it over, and really I'm kind of okay with all the colors because the pink is in here, the blues are in here, and so down here all I have to do is add the text. Family. And I could be done, or not. I could choose in this text box to list all the family members that are in there. I could decide that, cancel. I could decide that I don't like the font in this box. Click on it here. And I could highlight it and choose any font that lives on my computer. Maybe I want it bigger and more readable. I could decide I don't like the black color, and I can click on color, and I can sample anything else on the page. I happen to like this nice dark blue, and I can change it to that, say okay, and so that's how I would quickly change just the color of one piece of one element on one page. Kind of are getting the idea of how easy it is to spend a lot of time customizing every part of a page. So when I get done with that, say I'm happy, this is good, that works for me. I have one last step that I do to almost every page. I hit Control A, that selects everything on the page. I format it by adding a nice shadow behind each piece, and now it stands off the page and gives it dimension. So there's one page. Yes, we're going to save those changes, and now we move to the next. Now you see all sorts of information all over this page that really helps you make it designed well, designed so that everything shows. For example, you take things and you bleed them off the page to make sure you don't have an error or a white area or something where your photo or your paper doesn't go to the edge. You have a trim line that tells where it's probably going to be trimmed in the book itself. And then you have a safe zone, the inside line, where you wouldn't want any really meaningful part of your photo or any of your text to go outside of. So if you need all of those open all the time, you can leave that, or if they make you crazy and you don't like the mess, you can make it all disappear. So now it goes through the whole process of starting to design your book, adding your photos, bringing things into the place you want them to be. I love this one because it says birthday behind it. Inserting the text that you might want to add, and maybe you just really hate this flowery purple paper. You have a couple options. You can choose to change the color hues of that page to shades of blue. That works. You can say okay, or you could go ahead and remove the paper and put something different in. I guess the point I'm trying to make is I'm not going to finish this book on this video. It is a process where you get to design a photo book, and it's a lot of fun if you like to design. Let's just pretend that we finished this book. What's next? You actually want the book in your hand, not just flipping through it on your screen. So what you're going to do when you finish your book is you're going to go over to File, and you're going to go down and print online with the Forever Print Shop. There's a couple advantages to choosing that to any other source. When you click there, it's simple steps that you follow, and it will take you one by one how to get to the end and order 1, 2, 4, however many copies you want to order. 2, it saves a copy of your book right in your Forever account. So even if your computer crashes, as so many of them do, you have not lost your book and all the work you made. You can still order another one directly out of your account. And 3, you know that everything you've designed and all the work you've done is going to fit perfectly in the order format that this program allows. So click Print Online with Forever Print Shop, follow those steps, and have your perfect photo book in your hand in about a week. If your goal is to have the book in hand, and how you get from screen to in hand doesn't matter, then you want to use an Autobook. If you want a little bit of creativity, a little bit of flexibility, you're going to use Design and Print. And if you're someone that loves the creative process, then you're going to go to Artisan and you're going to have a blast finding out all the different things that you can do to make this book your own. So what about you? Leave a comment below on which of these styles is most likely the way you'd create a photo book. And let us know what tips you would need to learn more about in any one of these categories. Most importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So we're going to continue to teach you more about how to use Forever to love your photos, how to use your computer to access your photos, and how to create your photo estate, or maybe just how to access Pixology, because we're here for you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.